Susie Parker in 1952. She was the first model to make $100,000 a year. Samuel James Battle was the first African-American police officer in New York City during 1911. Princess Elizabeth's wedding portrait from 1947. Margaret Bourke-White, life's first female staff photographer. During the 1930s, Helen Soros works the new pneumatic tube system used to take cash at the Marshall Field store in Chicago, 1947. A futuristic typing chair with headphones from the 1970s. Briggs & Stratton Flyer was a four-wheeled motorized vehicle produced between 1919 and 1923. A Woman Knitting in the Ruins of Berlin, 1945. Traffic in London Rain during the 1890s. Although the streets of London during this time were chaotic, there was an undeniable beauty to it all, a sense of nostalgia that still lingers in the city to this day. Salesman Mike Dreschler has his motorized roller skates refueled at a petrol station near Hartford, Connecticut. He has a single horsepower air-cooled engine strapped to his back and holds a clutch. Talk about innovation. Ojibwa tribesmen fishing in Minnesota during 1910. Every summer they would set out to the lakes and rivers with nets and spears, ready to catch whatever nature had to offer. The men would often spend hours on the lake, standing or sitting in canoes, patiently waiting for a bite. Michael J. Fox and Huey Lewis on the set of Back to the Future in 1985. Marlene Dietrich was a legendary actress of the 1930s and 40s, whose iconic style and captivating performances made her one of Hollywood's most celebrated stars. Lisa Fonsagraves models for Vogue magazine while standing on the edge of the Eiffel Tower in 1939. John Wayne in his first leading role and co-star Marguerite Churchill in Big Trail during 1930. Jimmy Stewart with his sisters Mary and Virginia, 1920. Installation of the Abraham Lincoln statue in the Lincoln Memorial, 1920. Humphrey Bogart and Lauren Bacall with their son, Stephen, in 1951. Date night at a drive-in movie, 1956. In the 1860s, chimney sweeps were a common sight in towns and cities across the United States. These sooty-faced characters had an important job to do, keeping chimneys clean of ash and debris to prevent fires. Charles B. Tripp, the armless wonder, and Eli Bowen, the legless wonder riding a tandem bike. Calamity Jane at Wild Bill Hickok's burial site in Deadwood, South Dakota, during the 1890s. American Civil War veterans, both Union and Confederate, gathered together at the 50th anniversary of the Battle of Gettysburg, 1913. A worker bottling up ketchup at the original Heinz factory in 1897. A vintage ad for the Kenwood chef in the 1950s. A page out of the Sears catalogue showing the latest fashion in shoes during the 1970s. A llama in Times Square, photographed buying Morath for Life magazine. A 1956 AMC Nash Rambler cross-country station wagon. You Talking to Me? A 7-year-old Robert De Niro in 1950. A very cool Coca-Cola delivery truck from 1909. The Miss Correct Posture Contest winners pose with trophies and their X-rays in 1956. Jim Henson working on Kermit the Frog in 1955. The original Kermit was made out of an old coat belonging to Henson's mother and ping-pong balls for his eyes. Teenagers hanging out at a milk bar in England, 1954. In the 1950s, Signal gas stations were a staple of American life. The iconic red and white logo was seen on highways all over the country, beckoning travelers with its promise of convenience and comfort. Canadian soldiers made a hockey rink while serving in Korea, 1952. In the 1966 movie Grand Prix, a daring cameraman was strapped to the front of a race car to capture an unforgettable scene. The film, which followed the intense world of Formula One racing, was known for its realistic portrayal of the sport, and this scene was no exception. A man trying to fix a flat tire while his family watches on a California highway back in 1937. Abraham Lincoln meeting with General George B. McClellan at McClellan's headquarters after the Battle of Antietam, October 1862. Shirley Temple on the set of the comedy The Bachelor and the Bobby Soxer, 1947. Timeless beauty from 1900. Women wore intricate hats decorated with flowers and feathers, while men sported dapper suits and bowler hats. This was also the era when Coco Chanel revolutionized fashion by introducing her signature look of simple yet luxurious garments. Imitation is the most sincere form of flattery. Charles Caleb Colton, 1780 to 1832. In the 1920s, Scotland was a bustling hub of activity. One particular scene that stood out to many during this time was a farrier shoeing a horse in the countryside. Sean Connery in a high school photo from 1945. Lewis Hines' photograph of a powerhouse mechanic working on a steam pump from 1920. Portrait of Marilyn Monroe taken by Richard Avedon, considered by some to be the most honest picture of her ever taken. Baseball great Lou Gehrig, after finishing his "The Luckiest Man on the Face of the Earth" speech at Yankee Stadium on July 4, 1939. Kids playing in the street join hands in West Harlem, 1946. Mugshot of Pablo Escobar, the infamous drug lord of the 1970s and 80s. Medellin, Colombia, 1977. Children in line for an Easter Sunday matinee. Chicago, April 1941. A Nahang bodyguard serving in the ruler of Hyderabad's army in present-day India, circa 1865. Don't forget to give this video a like, and heck, while you're at it, drop a comment on your favorite historical photo. Also be sure to check out some more of our rare historical photo videos. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.